Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new episode, brand new season of the South Central Louisiana State Mud Dogs, where today we're going to be going on the road against the Toledo Rockets. They may be favored, but it's a game we can definitely win. And going into this season, we have a little bit of hype for us this season. We may only be starting off in 7th in the conference, but this is a much improved team, and with the Sun Belt being a wide open conference, there is always a chance that we can come in and win this conference once and for all. Before I jump into recruiting, I do want to say sending prayers out to the folks affected by the tornado storms over in the Midwest. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. Make sure you keep them in your thoughts as well, as I am going through my recruiting board for this season, or at least what I'm starting off with. Some solid players. Not anyone necessarily as electric as some of the guys that we brought in last season, although a lot of talent on this board without question as I'm scrolling down. John Casey is a notable exception, and our custom recruit in Tammy Groff, shout out to my girlfriend. There's no females that you can create in this college football game, but she's a extremely fast running back, and hopefully we can get her. But here we are in the Glass Bowl in Toledo, Ohio, and let's head on down to the field to start a brand new college football season. Alright, so we did win the coin toss and did decide to give the ball to Toledo to start this game. So quarterback Jackson is going to drop back the pass, and he doesn't have time as Sam Jackson gets dropped in the backfield. Negroes Beverly on the very first play of the season gets his very first sack of the brand new season. Very next play, with Toledo in a long 2nd and 19, Toledo is going to move a man out to the right, but it's going to be a halfback screen, and Bobby Boucher is back to make a play. It's a fumble, and Beverly is there to recover it, but he can't stay in bounds. Oh my goodness. So the Mud Dogs get a fumble to start the brand new season. We do recover it, and it goes nearly for a touchdown, but the Mud Dogs are gonna start on the 10-yard line. What a way to start the game. Very next play, Stan Castillo throws his first pass, and it goes to Tim Smith. Both freshmen get their very first touchdowns of their career. What a fast start for them this season, as the Mud Dogs go up 7-0. So here we are with the second drive for the Toledo Rockets already, after the Mud Dogs take a 7-0 lead. Sam Jackson does not have time to pass, and Jason Washington, another true freshman, gets his first sack. 3 freshmen in very short notice, already making a huge difference, as it's now 2nd and 20. So let's see what the Mud Dogs come up with. It's going to be a pass over to the left-hand side, and Cole Clancy is going to get a gain of 29 yards on the play. 2 plays later, Sam Jackson gives back the pass once again, and it's going to go to Brandon Brown, who gains 8 yards on the play before Toledo goes into their no-huddle offense. The no-huddle is definitely popular, as what I seem to notice in these NCAA games, as Toledo, they drop back the pass once again, but it looks like they're going to be stopped on a 4th and inches. This will be interesting to see what Toledo does here. But yeah, I noticed, the no-huddle is definitely quick, as Jackson is going to actually run for the first down here. Nice job by Sam Jackson to get the first down with the legs. A couple of plays later, it's now 3rd and 11 for the Mud Dogs. So hopefully this time around we can get another 3rd down stop, and that's going to be it for this drive, as Lyle Robin Ducks is going to get in there, and he's going to get a sack. So already we're only halfway through the first quarter, and the Mud Dogs already have 3 sacks on the day. Definitely a much improved team as in general. Now the Mud Dogs are going to have the ball, and it's going to start with Casey Bugg, who's going to get his 2nd carry of the day for 7 yards. Nice play for the veteran running back. Next up, we're going to throw it to Casey Buggs once again, and this time incorporating the option, and that's going to go for a gain of 9 yards. Noticing Stan Castillo, definitely has some speed on him, so we want to incorporate the option more. And you can see it right here. He makes some moves, and he just right there turns nothing into something. Nice 9-yard run. The Mud Dogs are going to go into this season with a brand new playbook. Last year we ran the run balance as Stan Castillo makes another nice run for 11 yards. But, we're going away from the run balance in order to incorporate the speed both our top receivers and our quarterback possess, as that pass was nearly picked off by Drew Moore. But we're now running a similar playbook that Ohio State runs, and hopefully that opens up the field more for our other talented veteran players such as Casey Buggs. May not get the carries that he got last year, but should see a rise in yards per carry and probably similar productions in yards and touchdowns. 3rd and 4 now for the Mud Dogs as Stan Castillo drops back the pass. He's going to get it to John Espinoza, but he can't make the catch, and the Mud Dogs are going to be forced to settle for a field goal. So Toledo now has the ball with down by 10 now. His first play is going to be a throw over to the left-hand side for Scott Merritt. Scott Merritt, who makes it a 2nd and 4. A couple plays later, after the penalty slash a couple of yards gained, it's going to be a 2nd and 6. This time, the quarterback has all day to throw, as Cole Clancy is able to haul in the catch for 19 yards on the play. Toledo Rockets move into the no huddle once again. Also, Jason Walker is in the game to replace Sam Jackson. He did hurt his back and will be out for the remainder of the game. So we will have the backup quarterback for the Toledo Rockets in the game for the remainder of this ball game. And, Jason Walker is performing admirably so far, starting off the day 4 for 4 for about 50 yards. So definitely a solid day so far as he drops a dot for Scott Merritt, who gains 15 yards on the play, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Toledo Rockets. Next couple of plays later, is now 2nd and goal at about the 7-yard line. Man moves into motion, and it's going to be halfback right. Looks like William Wright is going to get his touchdown, and Toledo is finally going to be able to get on the board with just a few seconds left in the first quarter. It's disappointing to see the running back being able to score so easily on that play, but this is definitely a much improved team, and maybe this team is considered a little bit better than us, but this is a game that we can definitely win, as Nate Colvin gets 11 yards on the play, very first play of the drive. Next up, we're going to have a read option, it looks like, and it's going to be faked to Casey Bugg, and it's going to be taken by Stan Castillo. Castillo utilizing the speed that he has been given and has gain of 9 yards. Definitely one of the reasons why he won the starting quarterback job in spring camp. He has to refine the arm a little bit, as there's another drop, looks like, by Tim Smith. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Mud Dogs here. But, Stan Castillo definitely has the legs, and he has the ability to break tackles as well, as he's able to break that tackle, or at least he makes it look like it's done easily, as with only 4 carries, he already has 43 yards rushing on the day. So on track to have a special day on not only with the run, but with the pass, as he throws his first interception of his career. Well, he was going to throw an interception eventually, as freshman starting quarterbacks eventually always do. And Toledo is going to get the ball at about the 45-yard line. So a promising drive is stopped by the interception, as Brandon Brown gains 11 yards on the play. Toledo now moving into their no huddle once again, this time with a 1st and 10. Now on the Mud Dogs 45-yard line, as Jason Walker drops back the pass, but he doesn't have any time to get the ball off, as he's sacked, looks like this time by James Joyce, the safety. Safety coming from his what appeared to be the right corner position, and is able to get the 8-yard loss on the play. Mud Dogs, is really solid on with his front 7 as it gets exposed there on the run. William Wright, he gets the sack yardage loss back and then some, making it a very manageable 3rd and 6. But, at least our defensive line looks better than what it did last season, as the Mud Dogs already have 4 sacks on the game, and Cole Clancy is not going to be able to get the first down. So it's going to be 4th and 3. And it looks like they're going to go for this extremely long field goal. Going to be interesting to see if this kicker has the leg to pull it off. Looks like he has the distance, but it looks like it's just off to the left. Kicker definitely had the distance to make that field goal, but he doesn't have the accuracy. So the Mud Dogs are not going to have to pay for the interception on the previous drive. Next up, Stan Castillo is going to take another run up the middle, and Stan Castillo gains, looks like 15 yards on the play. Really nice run by Stan Castillo, as he is now up to over 50 yards rushing before we even hit the half. Next play is going to be a screen to Casey Bug, and Casey Bug thought he was going to be able to take it to the house, but he's get caught from behind, but still a really nice play by the running back. Next play is going to be a throw over to the right-hand side. This time Espinoza is able to make the catch, and it's just about the first down marker, not quite there, but it's still going to be a second and inch. Very next play is going to be a throw out to the left-hand side, and Ryan Wilson makes the touchdown grab. Ryan Wilson getting the other true freshman receiver on this roster. He gets his first receiving touchdown on the season. Mud Dogs are now up 17-7 with 2.5 minutes left in the first half. And what a nice cut by William Wright. Thought we were going to be able to bottle him up, but he makes a really nice cut and is able to get away from the defenders. So really nice play by the halfback. Got to give credit where credit is due. A couple of plays later, Jason Walker is going to drop back the pass, and just as he's about to get hit, he's able to get it off to Cole Clancy, who makes the catch and gains a few yards on the play. Toledo now moving into no huddle. They do sense a little bit of urgency, as they are not trying to keep this a 2-score game before we go into halftime. As you may know, earlier in the episode, we did give them the ball to start the game, and therefore we'll get the ball to start the second half. So really trying to keep this a one-possession game, at least if you're on the Toledo side, but we're trying to get the stop right here, and that's not going to help our situation whatsoever as we try to really finish this team off as soon as possible. Billy Barrett is able to make the catch. Gotta say, this backup quarterback is probably a better pure passer than what our starting quarterback that we had to deal with. He's off for 11-11 and now 12 for 12 as Lee Martin is able to drag the feet and gain another first down. A couple of plays later, Toledo facing a 3rd and 8. This time, he's just about to get the first down by Billy Barrett. Jason Walker now with an amazing 14 completions in a row to start the game. Definitely a really nice performance. Next play, they try to run it up the middle with William Wright, but Ben Cook is there to make the tackle and moves the Toledo Rockets back a little bit. So now the Mud Dogs have a little bit of room. Be interesting to see if they're able to make the stand here, and it looks like he's just able to make it into the end zone this time around. Toledo is going to be able to cut this to just a 3-point game, but the Mud Dogs have about a minute left, and they can try to score before the end of the half. So here we are, 1st and 10. It's going to be a throw out to the right-hand side to Tim Smith. It's going to be a gain of 8 yards before the Mud Dogs take their first timeout of the half. Next play is going to be another drag back for Stan Castillo. He thought he had Nate Colvin open, but he should have lobbed it instead of throwing a bullet, as the safety is able to jump the route and is ultimately able to make the interception. Shout out, kudos to Drew Moore for reading the quarterback's eyes. Did have a deflection earlier, but couldn't quite make the catch. Alright, so now Toledo has the ball once again. So now they have a chance to try to take the lead here before halftime. So now the Mud Dogs defense needs to step up a little bit. 7 yards were gained on the play, and they are moving into a no huddle. Next up, Walker. He's going to throw it over to his tight end, Max King. Max King is able to gain 8 yards on the play before they move into this no huddle once again. You know, for the most part, our defense has been playing well, but now we need our defense to step up. Can they do it here? 1st and 10. Quarterback tries to get it to one of his receivers in the end zone, but he just doesn't plant his feet, and it's going to be underthrown. Very next play, it's going to be another drop back for Jason Walker, and this time he's going to try to scramble, but he is met at the line of scrimmage by Ben Miller, who gets his first sack. I believe Miller is one of the true freshmen that came in with this recruiting class over the past season. So, a very new line, but they seem to be performing pretty well as Lee Martin is stopped before the first down marker. As we actually tried to ice the kicker before the half, since we probably won't do anything meaningful, and it actually does work. We do have the ice the kicker activated. Hopefully this leads to a miss, but instead it's right down the middle. The kicker is unfazed, and it looks like Toledo is going to go into the locker room tied up against South Central Louisiana State. Alright, so here we are. Going to try to do something here before the end of the first half, and Mike Bullock has a little bit of a hole, but he's tackled, and just like that, we have reached halftime. The Mud Dogs of South Central Louisiana State are tied with Toledo at 17. Mud Dogs are going to start with the ball to begin this second half. So here we are. Quarterback is going to drop back the pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Had Casey Bug out in the flat, but in the middle of the field, but unfortunately is inaccurate. Next throw is going to be over to John Espinoza, who isn't able to make the catch either. So 2 incompletions in a row. Not a way to start the second half. Next play is going to be another throw to John Espinoza, and this time it is caught for 13 yards, and it's going to be a first down for your Mud Dogs. Next play, we're going to go into the read option here that we've just instituted over spring practices, and Casey Bug is able to gain 8 yards on the play. Haven't used him as much as we wanted to, but they're keying in on Casey Bug simply because he's a dude that we used a lot in the previous season. So, and they probably also don't know Stan Castillo that well, which is fine because he can use that speed more often. Very next play, another keeper for Stan Castillo. This time goes for 9 yards. It's going to set up a 2nd and 1 once both teams are ready to move on to the very next play. Alright, so here we are. Very short 2nd and 1. Going to move Casey Bug out in the read, and we're going to get it to Casey Bug this time around as the defensive lineman does key in on Stan Castillo, and it's going to be a first down for us. Next play is going to be another run for Stan Castillo. He's able to move to chains by himself. A nice 11 yards gained on the play. Going to be a first down for your South Central Louisiana State Mud Dogs. And we're doing really well on offense today. Gotta say that. Just having all of these new pieces, not only with our receivers and obviously it's starting quarterback, but also we have a bunch of new linemen that are starting the season for the first time, and I just got on the campus just a few months ago, and they're handling it well. I'm thinking, obviously the turnovers suck, but team's only going to get better from here. As Castillo's gonna take it and he's gonna score. 4-yard run. It's gonna go into the end zone, and that's gonna be Stan Castillo's first rushing touchdown of his collegiate career. This kid just has the makings to be special. He already has 2 passing touchdowns, and he also has the rushing touchdown as well. Mud Dogs are now up 24-17. Toledo is now beginning their drive, and they just completed a 23-yard pass to Lee Martin, which puts Toledo at about midfield. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Another pass this time looks like it's going to Max King, who looks like he was unaccounted for from his tight end position, but he was met quickly once he was able to make the catch. So here we are, 3rd and 1. See what Toledo comes up here and see if the Mud Dogs are able to make the stop. It's a keeper to Jason Walker. And Jason Walker is able to get by the initial defensive linemen that were in the area. And it's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Toledo Rockets. Toledo, I have to say, Toledo does have has a nice stadium for a non-Power 5 school, I think. Shout out to those that are going through the medical program at Toledo specifically, as It looks like it's going to be a touchdown for Brandon Brown. Brandon Brown just is able to run wild and free in the middle of the field, and it's going to be a tie ball game here in Toledo. Now let's see what the Mud Dogs need to do. Looks like they need to come up with a response here. They're going to start with a throw over in the middle to Nate Colvin. Nate Colvin is able to make the catch, and oh no, he actually dropped it. Never mind. He actually dropped the pass. The third drop in the last 2 drives. Definitely need to work on the hands a little bit. Although Casey Bug is there to make it up on the very next play for the first down, of course. Next play is going to be, or a couple plays later, is going to be a drop back, and Nate Colvin is able to make the catch. And what a throw by Stan Castillo. He's able to thread the needle. This kid just speaks confidence and is just bleeding from his veins, and you can tell right now, kid is not fazed by the pressure. He's going to throw it out to, looks like, Ryan Wilson. Ryan Wilson gains 11 yards on the play. It's going to be a fresh set of downs. Next play, going to be a read option. Going to try to hand it off to Casey Bug, but they are ready for him. So he's going to take it off himself and gain 11 yards. Another first down for the Mud Dogs. And look at that. Stan Castillo has over 100 yards rushing. And this dude is just electric on this football field as Casey Bug takes the handoff for 12 yards on the play. This time we're going to actually do a play action. We're going to throw it out to Wilson, and Ryan Wilson is there to get his second touchdown of the day. Third passing touchdown for Stan Castillo, and the Mud Dogs are going to take a 31-24 lead here in Toledo. Next up, Toledo is going to try to respond to the touchdown that Stan Castillo just threw. And it's going to be Jason Walker taking the ball this time around. And that could have went for a lot more because he did have a couple blockers, but neither of them could get to the linebacker in time. Instead of a longer gain, it's only second in inches. So very fortunate for the lack of awareness by the 2 blockers that were in Jason Walker's way. Next play is going to be another run for Jason, and this time it's going to be only for 6 yards, but it does move the chains for the first down nonetheless. A couple of plays later is going to be a drop back for Jason. He's going to throw it out to the flat for Max King, who was left unattended, but does make the catch, and it's going to be another first down. Really unfortunate because if it was a little bit better on the back end, then we would have definitely gotten to him because we got good pressure on the quarterback. Next play is going to be a play-action pass, and while Robin Ducks tries to get a hand on it, but couldn't quite get a hand on it, and instead it's going to be a completed pass to Brandon Brown for 12 yards and another first down. A couple of plays later, Jason Walker is going to drop back the pass over the middle, and it's a missed tackle. Mullins is able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Brandon Mullins able to get through into the middle. Missed tackle looks like by Casey Gibbs, the true freshman linebacker, which is deeply unfortunate. But it's going to be a tie ball game here in Toledo, 31-all. Next play, Stan Castillo tries to run the option, and he is stuffed for a 4-yard loss on the play. Definitely puts us in a tough situation. Final play here in the third quarter is going to be a halfback screen to Casey Bug, and Toledo was simply ready for it. 4-yard loss on the play, and that's going to be our last play of the third quarter where both teams are tied up at 31. It's now a matter of who's going to be able to execute better with only 1 quarter of football left to play here in the Glass Bowl in Toledo, Ohio. So here we are, very first play of the fourth quarter. Stan Castillo is all alone in the shotgun position. He's going to drop back the pass. He's going to try to throw it over the middle, and TJ Wood drops the pass. So the Mud Dogs are going to be forced to punt here. So we'll see what our looks like our new punter can do. Floyd, I don't remember his first name by any chance, so that's my bad, y'all. But the returner, Joe Young, does bring it back to the 50-yard line. So really important for the Mud Dogs to be able to make a stop here because both defenses have had a hard time of creating stops, and since Toledo got their stop, we need to be able to get a stop ourselves. 3rd and 2 here for Toledo. It's going to be a read option, but they're not going to be able to get the first down, and it's going to be 4th and inches for Toledo. Going to be interesting to see if they try to go for it right here, right now. And it's going to be another long field goal attempt. He does have the leg to kick the pull this off, but does he have the accuracy? And he just doesn't have it today, as he misses his 2nd kick of the day, which means the Mud Dogs are going to be able to get the stop that they need, and this game remains tied with about 5.5 minutes left to go. Ensuing possession, Casey Bug takes the handoff and is able to cut it up the middle for 13 yards and another immediate first down for the Mud Dogs. Casey Bug, not a lot of action today, 13 carries for 77 yards, but is being efficient with the carries that he does have. Got to give him credit when credit is due. Stan Castillo, though, he's putting in some work in the running game, 110 yards rushing today. 3rd and 2, though, for the Mud Dogs is going to be a play action. He's going to get it off to John Espinoza in the flat, and he's going to be able to rumble ahead. Only a 5-yard gain, but does get the first down. Next play, the Mud Dogs are going to line it up. Tim Smith goes into the motion and goes to the backfield. Casey Bug does feel like he pitched it just a little bit too early, but Tim Smith, he's just trying to fight to get more yardage, but he's only able to get 6 yards on the play. Still a solid play, though, for the Mud Dogs, as makes it a reasonable 2nd and 4. Next up, Stan Castillo is going to pass. No, it's a quarterback draw. Because Stan Castillo, he's going to move it up the middle for a gain of 9 yards, and it's going to be a first down. Stan Castillo is just getting it done with the legs today. Does need to work on the arm just a little bit, with only an average arm so far at this point of his career. But as Casey Bug, no, that's not Casey Bug. I think that's Carl Wright, actually, taking that carry. 2nd and 1, though, for the Mud Dogs. And Carlos Burrell, for whatever reason, moves backwards. If he just would have stayed still, he probably would have had the touchdown, but instead it's going to be a 3rd and 5. Alright, so let's see what they can do here. It's going to be a play-action pass, and it's a dart up the middle, and Darren Joyce is going to get a touchdown, and the Mud Dogs are going to pull ahead 38-31. Man, what a throw. And that is the 4th passing touchdown for Stan Castillo. He's known for the legs, but he's getting it done with his arm when he needs to get it done. Now Toledo needs to score here, but can they get it done? Max King is going to start it off with a 15-yard reception. Moves the chains for the Toledo Rockets. Crowd sees the urgency of the moment, and they try to get behind their team as much as they possibly can. Next play, it's a halfback screen, and no one's there to stop it, except looks like number 27, looks like TJ Covington, I'm pretty sure. Definitely need to double check and memorize these numbers a little bit better. So that's it's Bruce Terrell. Whoops. 2nd and 2, though, for Toledo Rockets, and they run the halfback screen, but this time Bruce Terrell was ready, but he tries to make the interception and he slips. So instead of a loss, it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Toledo Rockets. A couple of plays later, it's now 3rd and 6 that Toledo is facing, as he has all the time in the world, but he just misses the pass. Bobby Boucher was the closest person to make the coverage, as looks like the middle linebacker investment is paying off, as he does have 11 tackles on the day. 4th and 6, though, for Toledo, and looks like Toledo's last hope does get answered, as Patrick Kendrick gets his first catch of the day for 13 yards. What a spot to be able to do it. Next play, Jason Walker has all the time in the world to throw it, but he throws it out of bounds, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 with about a minute 30 left. A couple of plays later, it's now 3rd and 11 for the Toledo Rockets. See if they can get another prayer answered, and it looks like he's going to be able to get it once again, as Brandon Brown gains 10 yards on the play, and Toledo is going to move into the no huddle to try to catch his team off guard. Obviously not a very favorable position if they are faced with the run all of a sudden. So let's see what they're trying to run. And it is a run up the middle, and William Wright nearly gets a touchdown. Makes it a very short 2nd and goal for the Toledo Rockets. So here we are, 2nd and goal. Can the Mud Dogs make a stand here? It's going to be a run to the left-hand side, and Andrew Holden is able to get in for the touchdown. Andrew Holden just is essentially able to walk it in on the halfback sweep. And, we did have pressure up the middle, but, was not there on the sides. So, now the Mud Dogs, only a few seconds left. Can they make a difference? And it's picked off by Jones. Jones just might have won this game for the Toledo Rockets as Stan Castillo throws a critical interception with only 40 seconds left. It looks like Toledo is going to be able to walk away from their home stadium with a win. But, not if our defense has something to say. Jason Walker's going to drop back the pass. It's thrown up in the air, and it's picked off by Jaron Joyce. Oh, man, what a turn of events as Jason Walker, who has played admirably in the absence of Sam Walker, is able to get picked off. So now the Mud Dogs have the ball. They just called their first timeout as Carl Wright took the carry. Next play, Stan Castillo. He's going to scramble out to the right-hand side and gets out of bounds. Nice 17-yard run. Didn't see anybody open downfield, so he went ahead and tried to create something himself, which did work, and he's able to get out of bounds. Next play is going to be another scramble for Stan Castillo. This time, he's just able to get the first down, another 10-yard run on the day. 20 seconds left, though, for the Mud Dogs. Can they get into the field goal range for Derek Wallace, one of the best kickers in the Sun Belt Conference, or at least the guy that can kick the farthest? So we'll see here. It's going to be a throw to Casey Bug. No, that's Darren Joyce, but it's still caught. Gain for 17 yards. And with 15 seconds left, it'd be interesting to see if the Mud Dogs, who just need one more first down to be the effective field goal range for Derek Wallace, can they get it here? And it's going to be another scramble for Stan Castillo. It's fumbled, but Chris Charles falls on it, and it's a first down for the Mud Dogs. So here we go. This is going to decide the game. The kick is up. And it is good! The Mud Dogs are going to walk out of Toledo, Ohio, to win this game 41-38. What an incredible finish. The Mud Dogs toughed it out against a team that nobody at the ESPN studio thought could beat them, as Kirk Herbstreit did roll with them before this game started. But the Mud Dogs didn't listen to anybody on the outside, and they are going to walk away with an opening season victory in Toledo's house, 41-38. So just some game stats for you to summarize this game up. Stan Castillo, those 3 interceptions were concerning, but he did throw 4 touchdowns off of 26 attempts. And, he threw 141 yards passing, which is not really his MO, but he did have over 150 yards on the ground with a touchdown, as well as a couple of big scrambles to really solidify this game. Nice contributions from Casey Bug and Carl Wright as well, with 79 and 16 yards rushing apiece. As for the receiving numbers, the ball was spread around quite a bit. The only receiver that played a decent amount that didn't catch the ball was TJ Wood, who did have that one drop, but nobody had more than 3 catches. But the ball was definitely spread around. Joe Jackson, he was the only blocking person of note. Joe Jackson, in his collegiate debut, gets a pancake. And Bobby Boucher was an anchor on the defensive end with 12 tackles, 4 of them tackles for a loss, with that forced fumble that did lead to a touchdown. Defense really stepped up when it needed to step up the most. I mean, this is a game that could have slipped away for us, but that simply wasn't the case. And, this defense, they got to learn to play with each other. There's a lot of new faces on this defensive unit. But definitely excited to see what the future holds for this football team. And thanks to that win as well, Henry Klein is actually going to get a head coaching upgrade. So definitely going to go ahead and see what kind of upgrades we can get. Definitely thinking of going something towards the game management. particularly the ice to kicker, as I looked over the overcoaching tree to see if there's anything particular that I wanted. But we're gonna go with this antifreeze, since Derek Wallace, he was cold as ice, just tearing the hearts away from those Toledo fans as we got that huge win to start the season. Next week, we do return to the Mud Bog on South Central Louisiana State's canvas to play the Georgia State Panthers. We are favored to win, and we should be able to do so. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to your boy if you enjoy college football as well as pro basketball content. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Thanks.